Alright, we're gonna hop right into it. You know who it is. It's your host with the most, G Hefe. And with this video, I'm gonna talk about not being so hard on yourself. Basically, this is a spin-off of the confidence video I did, but this one is not so hard on yourself, especially in the dating arenas, ultimately, because choosing your partner, your love mate, that's one of the biggest decisions that you could possibly make, because a lot of other decisions is going to stem from that, like if you choose to have kids, if where you live. It's so many other variables that can come into play after you making that choice. And the reason I'm going into this is because as a lot of the podcast and YouTube action discusses being a high value male, being a high value guy, and I know a lot of people are striving and elevating towards that goal. Now, just realistically speaking, if everybody was high value, then it might not even be considered high value, and then I guess the criteria will only heighten itself as the more and more people get to that. For example, one of the big things ladies do say that I've heard that they express that they want is a guy to provide, and providing oftentimes deals with financial ability to provide, right? Especially out here in the United States. However, check the stats. I've heard, I'm a double check it, but I've heard like only 10 to 15% of people in the U.S. are making over 100K. So that includes men and women. Just knowing that, hey, that means 80%. I'm gonna round down to say 20% are doing it. That means 80% aren't making that. Now that's people, married people, different types of people, heterosexuals, homosexuals. So it's a lot of different types in there. So yeah, she gonna want a top 10, top 20% guy, and that'd be the 6 figures earning it. Even if you're doing 100K just on rough estimates, they gonna get about at least 30,000 up off of you for taxes. So you back in the 60,000 category. But I'm not. This isn't math class. I'm just breaking this down for you so you don't be so hard on yourself when you like, oh man, I ain't making that money. Because that's one of the criteria that the ladies do check for when they say providing and provision. Now, go around the globe, I know, because people would literally be like dying and fighting to try to get to this country, right? I know they not making that much money around the globe in every other country. Otherwise, we would be doing it. We would be trying to get out there, or they would skip over the U.S., right? So this is one of the countries that you have an opportunity to earn more money, so to speak. So in that nature, it's not guys around the globe. Like I know, like in Latin countries and African countries and Asian countries, the majority of them is not. You see how they living. You go to their places and your money goes so many times over the US dollar. So tell me what you want to tell me, but I'm looking at the facts, not your feelings. So that's why don't be so hard on yourself, just knowing that, being like, oh, okay, most people, majority of the people. Now, as a high value guy, you're not majority of people. So, but even if you haven't got there and you're striving towards it, it's just still knowing that. So, if you come up a little short on that, you're not beating yourself up over it. Like, you stressing yourself out. You know what I mean? Now that's affecting your health, your looks, all of that. Yeah, you do what you want to do. But for me, that's why I'm like, hey, I'm good with, shout out, this from the book of Jesus. I appreciate what I do have. I don't have the expectation there, and that's things that are for me, they gonna come for me, and that's how I walked away with lessons from that book. So next one, I just was talking about coming up short. That's another thing, your height factor. I mean, they do got guys doing surgery, but for the most part, like 99%, you can't change your height. So that's just gonna be that. It's your height factor. So knowing you're going now again, majority, I want to say around 15%, if not less, guys are 6 feet and up. So in the US, the majority of guys is shorter than 6 feet. Majority. Now, fortunately, unfortunately, depends. I got some issues with being tall. It's harder for me to find certain clothes sometimes. If and when I've opted to sleep in a car, it was tougher for me. If I'm trying to get the smashies in the car, it's tougher for me, because of the height factor. So it is some drawbacks. Not many though. I'm not gonna lie to y'all and act like that. Because I see out here, like even one lady I went on a date with recently, she was talking about height. She was like, "Oh, you 6 foot and up, that's gold," and that's because they look at it like that. And you can't do, but again, you can't do nothing about that to switch that up, guys. So what I would recommend, that's what I'm saying. Why be hard on yourself on something you can't change? All of us got something. Ideally we could change. If we could change, we would change, but we can't. Me, if I can have a six-pack ripped up, and I didn't have to work out as hard as I can, and I still don't have the six-pack rip, but I can't. I gotta do that. And still, some things it's genetics. I probably more prefer to look like a running back on a football team versus I'm probably like a slim defensive back. But again, genetics. You gotta play slim defensive back or a basketball player, but a shorter one. Even that. I'd like to be 6'6" so I could be hooping in the league, but it didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? But why be mad at that, y'all? And everything is supposed to happen how it's supposed to happen. And it's tons of just know who vibe with you. If she don't find you attractive, don't force it. You can feel the vibe. You know the vibe. Come on, man. You know if she into you or she playing with you. So with that being said, you just make your moves how you need to make your moves and step up how you need to step up in areas that you can change. Not eating healthy. That's really, if you ain't got no money, you can still make healthier choices, right? If you're not tall, you can still make smarter choices. And even if you are, but I'm just saying these is offsets because those gonna be in attraction factions for the ladies. So, but if you look for where you can, check your personality. Cause on the flip side, I'm gonna just use those two for this convo, having money and having height. A lot of times, guys, with that, having money and having height, they might not have they might underdevelop other issues like personality, fashion, coolness, because they rely, they talk game, because they rely on the height and the money. If I pull up in the Rari, I ain't gotta do much talking, and my jokes don't gotta be as funny. You know what I mean? If I'm her physical type, and even if I'm saying corny stuff, she's still choosing me, because that's just what's gonna work. So but you gonna get some women that they got the sapiosexuals, where it's not just about the looks with them. They need to be stimulated mentally, and a lot of women do, even if they don't claim to be sapios. They still want that kind of connection with that guy, because for the most, women are known for their beauty. I be telling some of them, you could see in an hour, maybe they see 10 guys in an hour. Man, I could see 100 women in an hour who are attractive. You know what I mean? Don't let us be at a shopping mall or something. They might go through the mall in that day and seeing one guy, or maybe none, because how they checking for attraction is different. So knowing that, again, why am I stress myself out? Why am I gonna be so hard on myself? Cause somebody else validation, man, get out of here. What they used to say, poppycock. You know what I mean? I'ma just keep doing me, and then what's for me is for me, and what's not is for not, yo. When a woman will reject me, I talked about rejections on another one, so I ain't gonna go into that heavy. But when they have, man, that's just, it make it easier for me, because when I reject women, oftentimes it causes like some backspin I catch, because I think like oftentimes women ain't used to being rejected, so I catch a backspin. But when they reject me, it make it easier for me, because it's like I ain't gotta worry about, especially if it's like a work situation or somewhere where I might see her again. It's like, alright, nah, she rejected me. You feel me? So I can just move about and be free and ain't gotta worry about that. But even in that, sometimes they still want the attention. But I ain't worried about that. You know what I'm saying? Not avoid stressing yourself out. You in the process of doing your high value man thing. Why are you worried about that? And so I'm gonna leave you into one of the quotes that I've heard from Chris Rock is, men lose money chasing women, but men don't lose women chasing money. So instead of money, I would substitute that as wealth. And when I think of wealth, I think of, yes, your financial ability, as well as your health. That includes physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional. And on that one, I'm gonna go ahead, get to what I'm doing. Enjoy that video. Hit the like, hit the share, comment below. Let me know what you think, what you want to hear, what you want to talk about, and get with me in the future. All right, we're going to hop right into it. You know who it is. It's your host with the most G.